Hello, everybody, and welcome to... Oh, shit, I did think of music.
What?
I've been too busy. Okay, but for now, the show is Phrases with Brian. Shut up. Ooh.
Phrases with Brian.
Our guest, Walter Kartman, will be given a phrase, and he will use his wits and his knowledge to come up with a creative and silly origin story of such phrase. And after Walter comes up with his story, I'll come in and correct him. Just kidding. I'll just say the facts about the backstory of the phrase. Our guest, Walter, can you introduce yourself a little bit? What do you do? What are you known for? Do you have any pet peeves?
What was the list? Name's Walter.
All right.
Walter Kartman. Walter Isaac Kartman.
Okay.
What am I known? Nothing. Really, not that working actor. Working actor. Put quotes on working actor and then writer. Working at a restaurant as of this recording.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. Specific one off the top of my head. Oh, eating during a podcast. That's a pet peeve.
You're such an asshole.
I am.
All right. Drum roll, please. That was a drum roll. I'll insert a sound effect. It is break the ice.
All right, breaking the ice. Well, breaking the ice actually comes from a fable from the Germanic cultures, specifically from Norway. That's where the first written version of this tale was found in Norway. Okay. It might have been spread over different places in the Norwegian, Viking lands at certain points, but all we know is it was first written down in Norway by Hans Fuggenholmer. He was a contemporary of the Brothers Grimm. It's just people had such a hard time spelling Hans Fuggenholmer that they just decided to go with the Brothers Grimm because it was just so much easier.
I can see that marketing-wise, definitely.
Breaking the Ice was from a tale that was called Helga and Dusseldorf,
okay.
The Ice Wall of Eternal Sorrow. Because but not to spoil too much, but there is a big ice wall and it makes them very sad.
Okay. A little Game of Thrones, but whatever.
Well, I mean, where do you think they got it? I mean, this is from like 1000, you know.
Okay.
What was I saying? Oh,
okay,
God.
so Hans.
Okay, no, Hans and Hans. Shut up. I have this. Hans, Helga and Dusseldorf. That's right. Helga and Dusseldorf. Once upon a time, there was a princess named Helga and a peasant boy named Dusseldorf.
Okay.
And Helga, what? And Helga was going along just fine, because she was rich, because she was a princess. And being rich is much better than being poor.
Wow.
In all times. Especially during when the story takes place. But she was sad and lonely in her castle. Okay. She didn't really have anybody to talk to, especially people her age. Her father was afraid to let her go into the real world and mingle with the people, but she longed for a friend. And meanwhile, in the countryside...
Oh my God, she's gonna meet Hans. Go, keep going.
Wow. Is there a Hans in this story?
Are you kidding? You started with Hans. Why did you introduce a primary character? Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, that would be great. This actually becomes very meta. You know what? You're exactly right, because I just found out that your thing is much more interesting than the dumb fairy tale that I wasn't making up on the spot.
You're welcome.
So, Dusseldorf, in the countryside, was a little peasant boy. He worked a meager farm with his parents. And times were hard, but they loved each other. But he was also lonely and looking for someone to love. And so, dramatic shift. Dusseldorf makes a delivery to the castle with his collection of artisanal cheeses, because this is Norway.
Right.
And why not? And he was clogging along in his wooden clogs all the way up the cobblestone path up to the castle, and he knocked on those big old brass knockers, and the door opened, and he said, "Delivery," and he was like,
"Delivery."
Fine.
That wasn't very Norwegian. The fine.
he was a transfer.
Okay.
they had a peasant exchange program.
Wow.
With Bethesda, New Jersey. So, sign here.
All right.
Sign here.
Yeah.
All right, we'll bring it in. And so Dusseldorf is bringing it in with the guy that I'm now going to call Dominic. Call him Dom.
Wow.
So anyway, Dusseldorf and Dom are now pushing this cart into the middle of the grand hall.
Okay.
And he finds out that there's going to be a party. It's actually going to be a party for a reception for a wedding, because Helga, is it Helga? Yes, Helga. Of course it's Helga. This is Helga and Dusseldorf, the Ice Mountain Pain. Helga is getting married that very night.
Oh no!
To a bachelor of her father's choosing that he's never met before.
Okay.
And
Harold.
This is bumming out Helga, who is going to give a piece of her mind to her father, who's helping with the decorations of the hall. She runs down and she goes to her father and says, "Father, what is all this for?"
Okay.
Because I decided right now that she actually doesn't know. And the father's like, "It's a surprise for you. You're getting married." And she's like, "Oh, really? I'm last to know, apparently. Why would I know, being the fucking bride?"
Okay.
They swore a lot back in the day.
Of course. More so, yeah.
And dropped a lot of Nordic F-bombs.
Ooh, can you say a Nordic F-bomb type?
Fuck.
Fuck. Okay.
It's just say fuck. But it's a fuck. And this also breaks Dusseldorf's heart, this knowledge, because for the longest time, he had secretly been in love with poor Helga. Because every time he brought cheese, he would see her looking down from her highest window in the highest tower and thought, "That's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen."
Oh my god. You would turn this into a love story, and you would steal Shrek and Aladdin and all of the other stories.
Every tale ever made with all stole this from this tale. Dusseldorf doesn't know what to do. So he goes back to his farm and he cries and he cries and he cries, and then he goes and he starts praying. And he starts praying, "Dear God, help me find a way to get Helga for myself." And while she's doing this, Helga, who has also been secretly falling in love with the young Dusseldorf boy as she was looking down on him during his deliveries, runs up to her room, goes to her bed, and also with all of her might starts pleading, "Dear God, please get me out of this."
Okay.
And God responds.
Like Jesus God, or?
No, the only God that they know in this world, which happens to be Hans.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So Hans
they
is
prayed
back.
So hard that it actually radiated out of the pages that he was writing into audible noises in the air.
Oh, okay.
And so, a little surprised, a little afraid, but also a little impressed at himself that he wrote a story so hard that it was talking back to him. Hans started writing where he had left off in his notebook, and he started writing to them, Tom Riddle style from Harry Potter, something that also stole from this, by the way.
Wow. We're probably going to get sued for all of your stupid references, right?
This sounds like a you problem. So then, Hans was like, "Yes, I can help you. I can do whatever you want, because I have omniscient and infallible power in your world. I am your creator." They are both say, "Great. So can you help with the marriage thing?"
The marriage thing? Okay.
It's like, yeah. I'm just gonna make it so that what's your name again?
Helga?
Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf. Yeah. I'll make Dusseldorf the person that you were gonna marry anyway. I'm just gonna change this line. Scratches out a line and instead of put Dusseldorf, and yeah, you're all set. And they're like, great, thank you so much. And it's like, yeah, it's a boring story, though. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, that's kind of boring. Yeah, now that I think about it, like, there's no story.
Wait, is this meta? Are you talking about the story you're telling or in the story?
No, he's saying that to them.
Okay.
It's like, what do you mean that? Like, that sounds like a great story to me. It's a story of true love. It's like, well, people have heard the story of true love millions of times. I don't know what to tell you. That's not going to sell. Does it need to sell? Yes, it needs to sell. Brother Grimm breathing down my fucking neck.
Yeah, God is
my
capital.
publisher asking me to change my name to Hans Franz, and I'm like, no fucking way, man.
All right.
Like, good enough, they should know my fucking name. And they're like, well, what's your name? It's like, Hans Fragenbuch. And they're like, Hans Fragenbuch, that's not that fucking hard. You know what? Oh, never mind. That's not the point. The point is, I've changed my mind about you guys being together. And they're like, well, maybe you can give us a challenge, and if we beat the challenge, then we can still be together. And he's like, yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah, it's like,
okay.
Like, well, what should the challenge be? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. What's your skill set, man? Like, what are you good at?
Oh, but wait, he delivers cheese, so he's a good time manager, right? And he.
Do you want to answer?
Oh, sorry. It's your.
Do you want to answer for
Sorry, I forgot. Go.
So Duferdor says, I'm good with time, and I'm good with cheese. I'm an excellent cheesemaker. I'm the best cheesemaker in the land. And he's like, and Hans is like, yes, yes, you are. I realize I knew that already. I realize I knew that because I wrote it, and I realize that you don't know anything that I don't know at this point. So I don't know why I asked you that question. You're a boring character, Dusseldorf. You're a boring character. Jesus, boring. And I sort of regret that I didn't shade you in a little bit more. But now I kind of feel bad if I changed too much.
Okay.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna.
Are you still God here?
Like this is not. I'm sort of having writer's block here. So I'm gonna build a fucking wall. I'm gonna build a big wall between you two. All right. There we go. Big wall of fire. No, ice. I'm gonna make a big ice wall. Big ice wall between you. Writing it down. Here we go. And then boom. Instantaneously, a 5-mile high, 2-mile wide block of pure ice rings itself around the world.
Wow, this is a small world.
Dusseldorf. That's not a small world, it's a big fucking wall.
Okay.
But I guess, I mean, like, in a more meaningful sense, it is a small world, thanks to technology and the way that it opens up people and communities and cultures that we would never really be able to interact with face to face. Dusseldorf is like, great, thanks. I guess I'll get on this then. So he walks over to the wall of ice and realizes quite quickly it's quite a big wall. He tries to climb it. He can't. It's too slippery, and also it's 5 miles wide, 5 miles long.
It can't be 5 miles long.
Yes, it can. Or 5 miles tall.
Yeah, because it covered the world, my man.
It's 5 miles tall.
I'm sorry to be particular, but that was very inaccurate.
I don't think you're sorry at all.
I'm not. I'm just keep going.
Is there anything else?
Well, that's why I was saying it's a tiny world, because you're saying it's 5 miles long, and then I'm like, and it surrounded the entire world, and that's the circumference of the world is 5 miles.
Okay, it's 5 miles tall.
Okay, thank you.
It goes into space.
What?
Yes.
So that it is a small world.
What do you mean?
Well, if the wall is touching the base of the world and going all the way to, oh my gosh, no. Well, then it's a very tall. No, wait, but if it's 5 miles and it's already touching space? All right, continue.
I don't want to anymore. You know what? You invite me onto this to tell you, to inform you and your viewership something that's really interesting. Something that No, don't fucking laugh. You know what?
Don't. All right, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. You're right. So, can you please proceed?
Actually, the European Historical Society doesn't particularly like me because I refuse to do any research.
Really huge, tall wall.
Yeah, so he can't climb it, and neither can Helga, because I realize I haven't gotten to Helga in a while.
Sexism.
Helga also sees the wall come and is quite she's like, yep, that'll do it. Challenge accepted. So she goes down. Also tries to climb it. She can't.
Why can't they?
It's too big, too tall.
All right.
They sent she tries and then she can't, and then she sends her greatest knight, Sir Jorgen. No, Jorgen's the other guy, right?
No, the other guy's
Sir Jorgen. Yeah. Sir Jorgen is like, I shall traverse this wall for you, my lady, and get your prince. He's British.
What's in it for him, though? Why is he fucking doing it?
And with all of his armor still on, he lifts up and, yes! Slowly but surely, madam, I shall traverse the heavens. And, it's getting really hot in here. Woo, it's getting cooked and, oh my god. And it was because he was getting too close to the atmosphere. And eventually he starts cooking in his own armor. Okay. And all of a sudden, Helga is like, Jorgen! Sir Jorgen! You've stopped your banter!
She can scream and they could be heard all the way to space.
How goes it in the heavens? And then she just hears...
Okay,
as a charred metal Chris comes hurtling down to the heavens.
Alright, first, I gotta stop. But first, I'm surprised that she could see that far into space.
You're just backstage driving this fable. So, with all hope kind of fading away from them, Helga and Dusseldorf lean against the wall, and they can still see like their silhouettes against the ice. They can see each other, they can hear each other, but they can't touch. And they're like, and Dusseldorf is like, I'm so sorry, my love. I don't think we'll ever get past this stupid ice wall. And she's like, I think you may be right. And as they talk, because they're so close to the ice wall, they see that their breath is causing just the slightest amount of heat and condensation onto the ice. And it's just starting to melt ever so slightly. And it's like, oh my god, Helga! Our breath is able to beat this wall. It's able to beat this wall. We can beat this, Helga. We can beat this. We just have to keep talking. And Helga's like, that's amazing. We've done it. Yes. We just have to keep talking. Yes. So what do you want to talk about? And Dusseldorf's like, nice weather we're having, right?
Wow.
And Helga's like, yeah, it's very clear day. Beautiful, nice temperature. Crazy ice wall that happened though. Yeah, that's a given. But besides, that's very nice for Norway. This time of year, it's supposed to be quite temperate. It's like, yeah. So you make cheese, huh? Yes, I do. How does that work? How does cheese work? Well, let me explain. So Dusseldorf starts to explain how he makes his cheese, and then after that, Dusseldorf asks Helga what it's like to be a princess, and she sort of goes through her day-to-day routine, and they keep talking, and they learn a little bits about themselves, and they begin to realize that this is such a good, blessing in disguise, because they had fallen in love from afar, but they didn't really know each other all that much. And this is like a good way for them to really get to know each other. The more they got to know each other, the more they talked, and the more they talked, the more the heat from their breath started to melt the ice until slowly but surely they were just peas in a pod and just laughing and just they could finish each other's sentences and then they were almost down to just like another like inch between them. They had gotten through 2 full miles of ice, and they were just about to meet each other in the middle. And the Dusseldorf is like, wow, I mean, we've been talking for a while, haven't we? It's like, she's like, yes, we have. And it's like, yes. It's crazy, like, this whole ice scope, like, 2 miles, I was told. Yes, but it's been great. It's been great for me, too, because I finally feel like I know the real you, you know? It's like I feel the same ways. So what should we say for the last thing to melt and finally meet each other?
Oh my god. I have a bad feeling about this.
And they were like, there's nothing. We've ran out of things. I know everything about you. I know everything about who you are and what made you and what you like and what you don't like and what makes you tick. I've run out of things to say. And I was like, me too. So, what do we do now? And Dusseldorf thinks for a moment, gives a shrug and says, fuck it. And then he takes the hilt of the mallet that he brought with him that he uses to hit the wagon wheels on his cheese wagon. He just smashes it in the wall. And it comes shattering down. And Helga's like, Jesus Christ! It's like, give me some warning. It's like, sorry. Just needed to do it. Needed to break that ice.
Oh, wow.
Then they fuck.
Yeah.
No!
Baby.
Stop it! It's not that kind of show.
And then Hans like checks in and be like, so how did that wall thing? You figured out, oh my god, oh, Jesus Christ.
Stop it!
Give you guys some privacy.
Jesus Christ. Alright, thank you, Walter.
Not kids anymore. No, this is raunchy. This is some raunchy stuff.
Stop it!
Oh, then you crazy.
No, alright, no. You're
I'll let John my
Vito.
sorrows and aquavits.
Alright, well, thank you very much, Walter, for your wild story. Of course, it has 2 meanings, the literal meaning and then the metaphorical meaning. And it kind of, throughout time, it kind of swapped in terms of how people were using it. The most popular or widely accepted comes from 1800s. There was no real like ground transportation for commerce and trading goods and stuff, so they relied on boats. And when there was a mutual agreement between territories, and there would be like a boat coming from one country into another, and during winter, these big boats that had like spices and food and stuff like that would get stuck, and they would have to call for these smaller boats that had a very powerful engine to come and break the ice to form a path so that the bigger boats could continue. So these smaller boats would come from the territory that's receiving the goods as kind of an understanding between the 2 territories about their alliance or partnership. So that's
otherwise they wouldn't get the fucking shit.
That's not the point, Walter. They were being collaborative and they're friends. All right, now I'm going to go into the metaphorical side of it. So the reason why, if we go back to 1600 Shakespeare, Taming of the Shrew, it's being referenced there in a metaphorical sense where they refer to a female, Catherine, and how she was very cold and very cruel and mean, and how, I can't remember, what's the name of the character? Lucentio? I don't remember the character name, but one of the characters is trying to woo her and break the ice in this metaphorical sense of like getting her appreciation or trust. In 1678, the phrase was also used in a poem by Samuel Butler. The first recorded thing there ever was about this phrase was from 1528, and it's it talks about John Fisher, who was a Roman Catholic bishop that was opposing to one of the king Henry VIII, who was trying to take over, and he opposed and ends up getting killed. So there's a passage about that's written that makes reference to him saying, and I have the line, so I'll read it because I know you like the lines. It is
the actual, yeah. Give me them sources.
But it was pretty intense. It was very poetic, and it meant death.
Hold on. Okay, so what we've learned so far about the term breaking the ice is that it was first used in the Shakespeare play Taming of the Shrew, using a line that we don't have. And also in regards to a confrontation that someone had with Henry VIII.
No, not someone. I told you it was John Fisher, and he was executed by Henry VIII during the English Reformation for refusing to accept the king as a supreme head of the Church of England.
Church of England. Church of England.
So there you go.
Church of England. Get into it, or you're gonna burn at the stake, motherfucker.
Pretty much. There is also another reference from even before Shakespeare, from Plutarch. And his reference is from...
Hold on.
Okay.
Getting a breaking news story. Shakespeare was not the first person to use this. Yes, we're getting this right.
I thought that was serious, dude.
Confirmation. Plutarch is now the official first use of the term breaking the ice.
Yes. And
live at the scene now.
In 15...
Brian, what can you tell us about Plutarch's inclusion as the new inductee for... Is there something wrong with your earpiece?
Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, thank you, Walter. Communicating Live, 1579. There's a translation from Plutarch's Lives of the Noble Grecians and Romes. And the phrase is, to be the first to break the ice of the enterprise. Pretty poetic.
No, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
But so where does the metaphorical expression come from then?
Yeah, it doesn't have a
We don't know.
I went as back as I could. Okay,
what?
I'm going to 1500, and we don't know.
What? After all, what was the name of this again?
Phrases with Brian.
Phrases with Brian. Oh my god. This is going to be huge.
Wait. Before today, did you know about this phrase? Did you know about the origin? Really?
No.
Okay.
Apparently there was nothing to know.
Second, did you learn anything from this episode?
No.
What?
I don't know what to say.
Okay, so if someone asks you, hey, which play from Shakespeare says break the ice, you wouldn't know.
I actually didn't know that already.
Oh my god, you're so complicated.
I'll give you this though. I didn't know about what's his balls that went toe to toe with Henry VIII.
Oh, John Fisher?
I did not know about John Fisher. I did not know that Plutarch used it.
Okay.
So, I guess I did learn something.
Thank you. That was the whole point of this episode.
And I think I should look in the camera to talk to our viewers. I think we all learned something today.
Yeah.
We learned something about ourselves. I think we learned something about humanity. We learned something about the arts.
Good thing is.
But anyway, thank you for breaking the ice.
That was gonna be my catchphrase. Thank you for breaking the ice.
Really? Oh, I can't believe that I guessed that this might have been the reason you chose this.
Well, dude, it's our first episode.
Was so strong.
It's our first episode. We have to break the ice and let the audience know what this is going to be all about.
Sorry, what do we have to do?
Break the ice.
We have to break. Oh, you clever
I
dog.
know. Thank you. Some
And let me, to use the original term, break the ice. Let me break the ice, Brian.
You're going John Fisher on me?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going John Fisher on you. Let me break the ice. This could have gone better. This could have gone better.
Okay. Thank you.